Hi and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Kirk, otherwise known as Your Selling Guide on Instagram and TikTok, but here on YouTube, Nikki Kirk, and I've been selling on Amazon doing retail arbitrage for 5 years now. And I'm coming up on my 6th year, which is really exciting and super crazy, but I love it so much that I have no plans to stop. So in this video, I'm actually gonna this is a part 2 of my grocery outlet sourcing trip. So if you follow my channel, you know that I went in April to grocery outlet in Oregon and I sourced like crazy. So this is part 2, recapping everything that's sold so far and how much profit I actually made. If you like this video, don't forget to go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want more of my Amazon selling tips and information on how to get started or how to succeed on selling on Amazon. And if you hit the little bell, it will also tell you every time I release a new video so you never miss it, because sometimes YouTube doesn't necessarily tell you. So go ahead and hit the bell and you will be the first to know when a new video comes out. So just a real quick recap, this is a part 2 video. So in April, I went to Oregon to source specifically for grocery outlet. Now, I'm from Oregon, my parents live there, so I didn't have to pay for a hotel or anything, but I did have to pay for my flight, and I rented a car for a week because I wasn't gonna use my parents' car, they need their car. So I rented a car for the week, and which was really fun because I got to drive a Jeep Wrangler, which I've always wanted. Now I can say I don't really want one anymore, but it was real fun. I absolutely love sourcing grocery outlet because it has so much profitable items. Usually they are like discontinued or hard to find, which means they have even more profit on Amazon. So I love it, and it was well worth the trip. I went sourcing for 3 days. So I went Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which is not something I normally do outside of Q4. During Q4, I'm sourcing as much as I possibly can, sometimes 2 times a week. Very rarely do I ever do 3 days a week. And after this last trip, I don't think I will, because my back was starting to go out. Sourcing is physically exhausting, so going 3 days back to back was really exhausting. But then I packed it up the next day, so what's that, Wednesday, and dropped it off Friday, or Thursday, I can't remember now. But let's just say I dropped it off on Friday, I'm pretty sure I did. And then I flew back on Saturday, so I was there for an entire week. And that shipment was my largest shipment ever. 645 units. The total profit that it was estimated by Inventory Labs at the time I packed it up, because I used Inventory Labs to pack it up, was $5,246. That's how much Inventory Lab estimated that I would make on it. And the total sales volume that this order could do was $14,000. So that's a lot of money for one shipment. Let's see how it really did. If you are totally new and you're watching YouTube videos and you're kind of interested in selling on Amazon, but you're not quite sure, definitely check out my beginner FBA Amazon selling course. As one reviewer said, it's literally like a friend sitting there step by step walking you through it, because I broke down every lesson. There's 16 lessons and video formats. All of it is step by step broken out for you. It comes with a Facebook community. It has the video lessons. It has a written transcript of the whole entire thing. And it also has audio files, which you can download and listen to like a podcast. So however your learning style, I am right there with you to help you. I'm in the group every day answering your guys' questions. So definitely consider it if you want to start your Amazon selling business. At the time of this recording, it has been 8 weeks, 2 months since I dropped off the shipment at the UPS store. We'll really kind of say 7 weeks, because, you know, it takes a while from it to be dropped off and shipped and arrived to Amazon's warehouses. So it's a perfect time to do a little recap of what has sold. Now, how much money did I spend on this trip? Like I said, I stayed at my parents' house. I rented a car. That was $849 for the week. I also had to fly there, and unfortunately, it's not that cheap to fly from Tulsa to Portland. So it was $650 for the flight. But the great thing is, all this is business tax deductible, so these will be just an expense on my businesses at the end of the day. So if I had gotten a hotel, that also would have been a business expense. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun traveling and sourcing, so I'm definitely gonna make sure I do more of that, especially now that I'm kind of home based in Oklahoma. I wanna get out there and travel some more, and why not do it while sourcing my 2 favorite things. So at the end of the day, I need this to profit at least $1,549 to get to my break even, where it paid for the car and it paid for the flight. Oh, plus $60 of gas. I forgot that but this was before gas went crazy, so it was only $60 to fill it back up to the level that I used. Okay, so let's dig into the Inventory Labs reports. If you remember, I did the suppliers as OR, grocery outlet, OR, Walmart, because I wanted a way to pull out a report that would tell me how this shipment did. And currently there's not a way to do that except for just by supplier. And while I have lots of inventory over the years from grocery outlet, I just want to look at this stuff from this shipment. So that was a helpful way for me to do it. If you know of a way where you can pull it by batch, like your Inventory Lab batch, that would be awesome. Wouldn't it be awesome to see how each shipment did? But apparently that's not a thing. So unless you know of a way, let me know. So we're going to go through the supplier profitability report that I pulled, and it is based on the supplier that I called it when I was creating my shipment in Inventory Lab. If you don't use Inventory Lab, I highly recommend it. There's a link below where you can get a month for free. It's awesome, and it makes your FBA shipments so much better, and also has this reporting. So if you want to check it out, the link is below. So if you remember, I really only had 4 stores. So there was grocery outlet, which was the bulk of my stuff, but I also went to Target, I went to TJ Maxx, and I went to Walmart and TJ Maxx. These were items that I was kind of replanning, so I didn't change their store, and we're not going to get into those. I mean, they're so small anyways. So I really only did the 4. So here's the supplier profitability report. First up, we have Walmart, total of 8 units sold, and the revenue was $449. The profit on those was $174. Now, if you remember when I sent it in at the time, it said $279 in gross sales, but I've actually done $449. So that's awesome. The ROI on that is 113%. So over 100% ROI, always a great thing when you're selling on Amazon. Next up, we got TJ Maxx. So at the time I sent it in, it was estimating my gross sales to be $342 in sales from TJ Maxx specifically. And as you can see, I've sold 12 units and I've got $255, so about just under $100 less, $73 profit, 76% ROI. And I still have one on hand for there. You can see here, I still have items that haven't sold, and you'll continue to see that throughout this report. When I say that I want stuff to sell fast, what I mean is I want it to sell within 2 to 3 months. Obviously, month 1 would be awesome, but by month 3, so I've got another month on this shipment before I kind of go like, ugh, why isn't it selling? So I do have some stuff left, but I'm confident that it's gonna sell. When I say I want to flip stuff fast, or if you ever hear me say it, now some people might think they're going to flip real fast. That's not really how a profitable long-term Amazon business works. I want my stuff to sell for the price I need it to sell for to make a profit, right? So I'm not nickel and diming, penny dropping to make the buy box. I'm selling my stuff for what I want it to sell it for, which is a profit. So just know that when I'm talking about selling stuff quickly, I do mean like 3 months. So it's not technically that quick, but it is quick. It's not sitting there for years on end. Like some sellers have items that sit there for a really long time, and now you've got all these long-term storage fees. And that's not the case. I'm trying to sell it quickly, 3 months. Okay, now back to Target. So at the time I sent it in, Target's estimated sales volume was $918. And so far I've sold $612, so doing pretty good there. My ROI on Target is the lowest of all the stores with 50%. So it is hitting my minimum like ROI that I want, even though it's 22 items, 50% ROI. So you can see here, I still have 10 items on hand for another, this is the buy cost, so this is what I spent. This is how much money I still have sitting there that I need to make back, $64 for Target. All right, and now the big one, we've made it to grocery outlet. So if you remember at the time I sent it in, it was sales volume estimate of $12,000. So let's see how it did. I have sold 302 units from my grocery outlet for my gross revenue of $6,326. Profit from my grocery outlet sourcing, $1,945 for 93% ROI. Of course, that's awesome, right? Just from the grocery outlet, which was the point of my trip, I've already covered the stuff. I still have on hand 266 items though, so I still have a lot left to sell. Now we're going to take a look at the total. So I have sold total of the 645 units I sent, 344 of them for gross sales volume of $7,643. My profit that I've made, $2,332, 83% ROI, 3 refunds. Still on hand, almost have the same amount on hand. I've sold just over half of it. And if I take the 83% ROI use that as my cost of goods that are still sitting there. If I say I spent this much and I'm gonna get 83% ROI, return on investment, I have still profit left sitting there that will sell $1,400 left of profit. Now, I don't really think it's gonna be 83% ROI because at this point, it's been there for a while, right? It's been there 2 months and it hasn't sold. I still have it priced high, that's why it hasn't sold. I'm not trying to, go to the bottom. I still wanna sell it and make money. So let's rough estimate that I'm gonna make another $1,000 of profit on that shipment. So now we're talking $3,300 of profit from one sourcing trip, one full-time week. I don't always sell full-time. I say this often. I've always sold part-time, except for Q4 where I do move into full-time mode because I want to make that money. But normally I'm just sourcing 1 day a week. So I went a full week, full 5 days, typical work week. I made it work. And so far from that one shipment, $3,332. 2,000 of it is actualized. 1,000 is still waiting to sell. So now if you sell on Amazon, you know that like when you send in a shipment, it said I was gonna make $4,500. That's like if everything sold for the price I sent it in, and I always send it in $1 more just in case the buy box changes. I wanna make sure that I'm not losing profit, but sending it in for thinking I'm gonna make 5,000 and really making 3,000 is pretty freaking awesome, again, for 1 week of work. And it was a fun week of work, right? I got to travel, I got to see my family, I got to make money while I was doing it, I got to go shopping, all of my favorite things, and I got to do it and I got to call it work and make money doing it. That's why selling on Amazon is so much fun, because you get to make money working whenever you want to work. You can work 1 day a week, you can work 1 day a month. Like literally whatever you want to do, you can make it happen with your Amazon selling business. You can grow it to what you want to grow it to. You can give yourself the freedoms that you want. If you want more time with your family, you can make that happen. Selling on Amazon is so much fun, which is why I like to do these videos, to encourage you to keep going, to start whatever it is that you need help with on your Amazon business. I have different resources out there to help you. So of the total money that I spent on the trip, I made just under $800 of profit if we take out the money already. Plus I have another $1,000 of profit that I expect to make on this shipment. So altogether, profit-wise, net profit after you take out the expenses that happened on the trip, we're looking at $1,800, which is pretty great for a fun week of work, and it's not even Q4. So that's why you gotta go to Grocery Outlet if you haven't already. Make a trip. Honestly, it's worth it. Let me know how it goes. If you're ready to start your Amazon selling business, head to beginnerfba.com and I will teach you how you can start selling on Amazon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you liked this video, and I'll be sure to break down more shipments along the way.